you are guaranteed to get your permanent residency. The moment you get your study visa approved, the moment you get your study permit approved and you come in here to study, it's already a given that you're going to get that permanent residency. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Ada Canada. Thank you so much for coming back. So today we're going to be talking about the easiest way that you can migrate to Canada. And without wasting too much time, we're just going to start right off. For me, the easiest way to move to Canada is through education, studies. So applying for admission, coming in to study for whatever degree it is that you want to study, whether it's bachelor's, master's, postgraduate, PhD, whatever it is, the easiest way to migrate is through studying. Now, I have a few advantages and a few disadvantages of coming in to study as an international student. Having done some research and also having looked at my experiences as well as the experiences of other people, I just come to the conclusion that this is probably the easiest way that you can come in and eventually get your permanent residence. We're starting off with the advantages. The first advantage is that it's quicker and it's easier to apply for. On average, it takes about 1 year for you to apply for admission and get a visa. Usually, applying for admission is nothing. It's very easy to get admission. It's very easy to get into any school in Canada as an international student, as long as you meet the requirements. However, the challenge is usually applying for the visa. And this is where you have to be very careful with your application and make sure that you do everything right to the T. But usually, on average, it takes 1 year from when you apply to when you get the visa and the study permit and when you come in. If you want to come in to study in Canada, you have to start planning, or you have to start applying a year ahead of time. So if you want to come in to study in Canada this year, then you must have started applying since last year, just because of the time constraint. Compared to permanent residency or applying for permanent residency from your home country, the educational route is easier again because 1 year is a lot easier, it's a lot more bearable. All you have to do is just look for a school that's offering whatever it is that you want to apply for, and then apply and then get the admission, get the visa and come in. It's very, very straightforward. The second advantage of coming in through education as opposed to coming in as a permanent resident is that you don't need to do anything before you apply, except you're asked to do anything. What I mean is that you don't need to take an English language proficiency test as long as you can prove that you studied in English from your home country. You don't need to do a World Education Services evaluation, credential evaluation for your PR, nothing of that nature that's going to like waste time or take some time before you can actually apply. Whereas if you're coming in through permanent residency, first of all, you need to do the English language test and you need to do that credential evaluation before you can apply, and that already eats into your application time. And this is all before you can apply, right? Before you start waiting when you're in the pool to get nominated. The third advantage of coming in using education is that you are guaranteed to get your permanent residency. It doesn't matter how long it takes, you are guaranteed to get your permanent residency. The moment you get your study visa approved, the moment you get your study permit approved and you come in here to study, it's already a given that you're going to get that permanent residency. So you don't have to worry about getting a permanent residency. All you need to think about is the time it will take to get that permanent residency. By the time you're done with your studies, you will already have met the educational requirements for permanent residency. You will also already have met the living requirements required for permanent residency, and it kind of makes applying for that permanent residency become easier because you're already here. Based on just those two requirements for PR, it's already guaranteed. The only thing you have to care about is the time that it will take, which I'm going to talk about very soon. So now we finished talking about the advantages, and now we're moving on to the disadvantages of coming in as a student. The first disadvantage is that it's a lot harder to get a study permit or a study visa. It's a lot harder these days. As of 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, it used to be a lot easier to get the study permit when you apply, as long as everything is correct. Looking at people's experiences, like the most recent experiences of people who have tried applying for a visa and gotten rejected, I've noticed that it's a lot harder, and I don't know how, I don't know why, and it's almost looking as if it's a game of luck whereby when you apply, you have to just pray that some kind of miracle happens, that you get it. People will do everything right, people will do everything correct, and then they still get rejected, right? So it's challenging. However, if you do get your study permit or your study visa approved, count yourself lucky. The second disadvantage of coming in to study is that it's expensive to study. You're coming in as an international student. Expect that you will be paying 2 times, 3 times, sometimes almost 4 times what the average citizen or the average PR person would pay to go to school here. So it's a lot more expensive to study as an international student. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people would prefer to get the permanent residency, so that when they come here and they're going to school, then they don't have to worry about paying international student fees. The third disadvantage is that it takes a longer time for you to get your permanent residency approved, as opposed to when you apply for PR from your home country and then come in. And this is because if you're coming in as an international student, you're going to get a study permit and a study visa, and then once your program is done, you have to apply for a work permit first of all, and you need that work experience and a work visa. And once you have fulfilled every other requirement, you're good to apply for your permanent residency. So when you factor in the amount of time it will take to get a PR from a study visa compared to somebody who just got the permanent residency approved and is coming in from outside the country, you find that it's still doable. It just takes a longer time. And this is another reason why some people prefer to take the PR route directly from their home country, because they know that when they're coming, they don't have to spend too much time. It's already approved from their home country, and all they have to do is just pack their things and move and do the landing, and that'll be it. Another disadvantage is that when you come in as a student, it takes you a longer amount of time to settle into the country and get used to the system. What I mean is that if you're on a study permit, you can't work full time. You can only work for a certain number of hours, right? And you're basically just going to find that you're just getting by with paying bills. Sometimes you might not even get the job of your dreams. You're just going to have to work certain odd jobs or just do certain things just to be able to fend for yourself, but it's not really your dream job. It's not really what you want, and that's just because you're in school. So you would have to do that for however long you can do that, or the entire length of your program if you're working and going to school as well. With coming into school, you're only kind of restricted or limited in what you can do. By the time you've graduated from your program and you apply for a work permit, then that's when you can start targeting full-time jobs, and that's when you can start targeting the jobs that you really want. It takes a longer time just for you to be able to settle in, get the job that you want, and that doesn't have to just be for the sake of paying bills. You spend a lot more time before you can say you're settled in and you're living well, or at least you're living comfortably okay. Whereas if you're coming in as a PR, you're already a PR, so you can easily apply for any job that you want, full-time, part-time, casual, it doesn't matter. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment down below on what you think or what you prefer, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on my post notifications so that you will never miss an upload. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye.